I'd like to just talk for a minute. There's something that most people really miss in the kind of soap opera of life and all the entanglements of life, demands of life, that there are two levels, of experience. It's almost like a twofold path, I mean, use some kind of Buddhist term. And this twofold path has to do with why we're born on the earth and learning from everything we experience on the earth that the answer to all our conundrums is really just an open heart. It's to love. And we're born here, and the soul evolves through many lifetimes to learn how to do a simple thing, and that's just to be a happy person. I mean, I talk about this a lot, but this is all the foundation work to having a spiritual life. You know, happy people are living on the highest level of what it means to be human. And happy people are basically enlightened people. They are capable of having a spiritual life. There's kindness, there's compassion, there's goodness. They listen to other people, they learn from them. They don't live in constant judgment of the world and knowing better than everybody else. They embrace life. Life, I always say it, is the ultimate guru. Stuart is not the ultimate guru, or any Swami, or any priest, or yogi. You understand? What I'm here to do, and what any person who practices any kind of spiritual work, they're here to train people and to teach people how to open to the real guru, which is life. Now, it takes a lot of inner strength and it takes an incredible capacity to be able to embrace life in all its dimensions and all its bullshit and all its joy and all its wonderment and everything that's created around us as a reminder, understand, that we have no choice but unifying these two paths, the path of karma and the path of spiritual enlightenment. And both of these paths, both of these ways of working with ourselves, they work together. They support each other. We need energy in order to develop a spiritual life. We need to learn how to maintain a chakra system that is open, receiving energy. And that energy enables us to keep the heart open. When the heart stays open, there's love, there's joy, there's a raison d'etre, and it isn't about making money and success. It's about living with wonderment, with joy, with love. And giving other people the freedom to live their lives. We don't have to sit in judgment of anybody. All we have to do is learn to nurture people, listen to them, allow them to truly teach us mostly about ourselves. I mean, I have a daughter, and my God, she teaches me so much about me with all the stuff that she goes through. And it's about me. It's about me learning patience. It's about me learning to love somebody unconditionally. It's about me giving her the room to find her own life. And I think every human being teaches us this. And what is the purpose of being born here? We're born here to learn how to make money. We're born here to learn how to rule over other people, to have a huge ego and to live with enormous tension and crazy. No, we're not born here to do that. We're born here to learn how to be happy people. Coming and living in that state of bliss, in that state of sanctity. You understand? We work out our karma. We have learned what we came to the earth to learn. And then we can share it with other people. We can love them, not because they live the way we want them to live, but because they're all children of God, learning about their lives, no matter how they're living it. So the first person we have to deal with is ourselves. It's the first person. Learning truly how to keep and live with an open heart. Learning how to love. And there's nothing wrong with all the mistakes we make and how we kind of bumble our way and fumble our way through life. We all do it. And it's all there to teach us that we need to grow. We need to go deeper. We need to absorb more Shakti, more energy of spirit. Not other people's energy, but the energy that comes from infinite energy in the universe, from God, spirit, whatever you want to call it. The first person that we all need to fix is ourselves. And and once you fix yourself, and once you really get the chakra system working and really connected to spirit, other people begin to listen to you. You're not trying to extract anything from them. You're learning to love unconditionally. Foundation for spiritual life. We've learned how to live on the planet Earth. That's why we're born here, to learn how to live here. Not by having some great mansion in the suburbs. And, I've done all that. It doesn't make anybody happy. I lived in oh my God, the house I had in Woodstock was like a palace. Didn't make me any happier. The only thing that made me happy is I opened my heart. And then I could live in a one-bedroom apartment, a mansion, doesn't matter. It's the greatest treasure is at the center of a human being's heart. That's the greatest treasure. All the rest of it is just Maya, it's just illusion. It's transient. Does anyone have a question?
Stuart, I have a question.
Yes, Bob.
After all these decades, having many years ago, many decades ago, hit the side of the mountain with Rudy on the in the plane with you.
Bob, I can't make out what you're saying. I'm getting older. I don't hear as well. So try to enunciate. Parents always said enunciate.
After all these decades of having hit the side of the mountain with Rudy in the plane, how are you in relationship with that event? Was it tragic? Was it what he was working for? What language do you use now to describe that?
Bob, it wasn't tragic. It was meant to be. In the last year of Rudy's life, I never saw anybody work harder on. I mean, I remember I called him up and I was living in Denton at the time. And he wanted me to come to New York. And I said, okay, I'll come. He said, but Stuart, I'm going to meet you at the airport, which is something he never did. And I just want you not to be gaping at my head. He had changed so much. The energy, the spirit in him had gotten so strong that chakras, it was amazing. I got off the plane, I saw him, I couldn't take my eyes off his head. And he said to me, stop looking at my head. I said, what happened? He said, I told you, there's been such a profound, he worked out in that year. Look, he was 45 when he died, and he told me 100 times he was going to live to 84 years old. He worked out that 39 years in that last year of his life. And it was just his destiny to leave. And I remember, when I was in that plane, for God's sake, and we hit a mountain and I was knocked unconscious. I had all my front teeth were knocked out. I woke up drenched in blood. And Bo told me, Rudy's dead. And I got down and I tried to give him artificial resuscitation, something to get him. And when I realized, yes, Rudy has passed, my first thought was, I thanked him for allowing me to be with him the last moment of his life. And I realized that the only reason I survived that plane crash is that he passed his soul force into me and he protected me because I had work to do in life to continue what he was teaching. And I said to myself, I said, Stuart, now you'll find out what the last 6 years have been all about. And I found out I needed every ounce of training that I got from Rudy to survive Denton, Texas. I need every ounce of training that I got from Rudy to survive, 20 years in New York City running a meditation center. And it all compounded. Everything he taught me, things grew on it. Things got better. Things gave me deeper understanding. A deeper sense of myself, a deeper sense of surrender, which were his last words. I never felt that Rudy's gone. He's with me right this moment. He's been with me when I was 6 years old. And this is a true story. I used to lie in bed and I kept hearing the name in my head, Rudy, Rudy, Rudy. At night, I'd be trying to go out of here, Rudy, Rudy, this name, Rudy, Rudy, kept repeating itself. I was 6 years old. 19 years later, I met him. It was a hell of a 19 years. And the whole training he gave me, the whole foundation he forced me to put inside myself, enabled me to go inch by step, while living in Texas, while living in Manhattan for 20 years, running that place with so many crazy people. It was unbelievable, And I just needed the training. And without the training, I could have never survived. I couldn't be here doing what I'm doing today, sitting in front of all of you, teaching this meditation class. So I've never felt Rudy gone. I've lived a different life than him. Look, I was in the Asian art business, which was his main way of supporting himself. But my life was very different. I'm very different today. The world is very different today that we're living in. And I have nothing but gratitude. First of all, I wouldn't be alive today. He was the one who passed his soul into me and kept me alive because I had work to do in the world. And he knew it. I remember when Muktananda took, Rudy always lived with the soul of Nityananda in him. The first thing he ever showed me when I met him, the first thing a picture of himself lying on the floor at the foot of probably it was Swami Muktananda. With this a picture of Bhagwan Nityananda superimposed in his heart. It's the first thing Rudy ever showed me. With a photograph. And I remember when Muktananda came to America, he made Rudy completely surrender the soul force of Nityananda. I'll never forget that. I was there when it happened. And Rudy took that soul force and he put it inside me. You know, Nityananda told me, you will be a great teacher. I don't know if I'm a great teacher. I just do what I do. And I try to do it as truthfully as I can possibly do it, and with as deepest sense of service to God as I can possibly do it. And just to be honest with myself. But all of these things happened in my past. So I've never for a second ever believed Rudy's gone. He's been with me. And I was in that plane crash with him, giving him artificial respiration to try to bring him back to the world. And he always told me, don't love me. Don't love me. Love God. Learn what I have to teach. Don't build shrines to me. When I leave here, don't weep. Don't lament. Learn what I have to teach. If you do that, you will free me. And I made a commitment to myself early on. I was maybe 6 months studying with him. That's what I'm going to learn to do. And it wasn't easy. I was combating a very neurotic young man who had lots of problems, a lot of emotional insecurity, a lot of anger, resentment. But I had one thing going for me as a kid. I needed a spiritual life, and I knew that. And I was willing to undergo whatever it took me to have to do to get a spiritual life. And including being in an airplane crash with the person I loved more than anybody in the world. I think the hardest phone call I ever had to make in my life, I'll never forget it. When we came down the side of that mountain, the woman opened the door to her house. I knocked at the door and she almost fainted when she saw Bo, Mimi, and myself. I really mean it. She just gasped. Why? We were just in a, and then I had to call New York City. They wanted me to call Rudy's mother, and I said, no, I can't do that. So I called, he had an antique store around the corner, and there were two students of his that worked there, and I called them, and I said, are you sitting? And I told them what happened, and I said, please go tell Ray. So that's my response to that. Just my response, Bob, is just infinite gratitude to somebody who cared enough about this crazy kid, who came into his life and made sure that he got the training that he had to get, because Rudy knew one day he wouldn't be here. He even told his mother, and he never told me this, his mother told me this. He said, the day he met you, Stuart, he told his mother, I think I found somebody I can pass my work on to. His mother told me this. He didn't tell me this. The day we met. And I asked him, I said, what happened that day, Rudy? He said, I saw my son looking in the window of my gallery, lost in the universe. I just pulled you right in the door. So how can I have anything but gratitude? And never for a second think Rudy is gone. He's not gone. He lives in my heart. He's been in my heart from the time I was 6 years old. I hope this is clear to all of you, not just Bob, but to all of you. This is so important because it's the only thing that's enabled me to survive, you know, living in this crazy world that we live in. And believing that the whole goal of this is not to be something, it's to be nothing. It's to be nothing. It's exactly what we're, the opposite of what we're taught from the moment we're born. Because it's that nothingness that allows spirit to flow through us and guide our lives. And we have to learn to surrender, to surrender. To live in the world, enjoy life, all the benefits and wonderments of life and everything that Maya has to contribute. At the same time, be free of it. I mean, where else could I have learned that but Rudy? I never saw anybody live like Rudy, you know? And it taught me nothing. I mean, he told me, buy that building. I've told you this story a billion times. And why did he tell me that? Learn how to, what he was really telling me is learn how to get free of money. Learn how to get free of money. Hiding from it, being poor all your life is not going to give you freedom from money. Getting it and using it to serve a higher purpose and not being attached to it, not getting greedy about it, not hurting anybody to get it. And get free of it. It's just energy. Life is energy. We're here to learn how to get free of life. How do we get free of life? By embracing our teacher, life. Does anyone else have a question they would like to ask? Okay, there'll be meditation tomorrow evening at 7:30. I'm looking forward to seeing everybody. God bless you. Thank you, Bob, for a great question. Really very good. Thank you. So God bless you all, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Have a wonderful evening and let it all absorb. You know, go lie down for 20 minutes, you know, and let this whole energy absorb inside. So,
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
Stuart.
Thank you,
Thank
Stuart.
you.
Good night.
All right.
good night.
Good
Thank
night.
you.